Coach Verenkamp, and I'm here with Johanna Solomon, who is a 110-meter hurdler and a 400-meter hurdler for us at Queen's University of Charlotte. Can you tell us a little bit about your progression this year? Maybe tell us about what your personal best was coming in, and tell me about how the years progressed during the outdoor season.
I came in with a PR from last year, 1478, and I started out with that at UNCC, just matched my PR from last year. And then I had consistent races like in the 70, 80 area, and then at breakout last weekend at conference in the prelims ran 1444, which like right now I'm sitting at 19th on the list. So right now it's the goal to get in to nationals.
Cool. You mentioned the conference meet. This is the first year that we've been in the South Atlantic Conference. Can you maybe talk about the opportunity to go and compete for a conference championship, maybe describe what the atmosphere was like, and maybe tell us how that attributed to you running 1440?
It was fun. I mean, in my previous 2 years in Kansas, we never really had a team that could compete for like a certain place or for a certain goal. So it was fun to go in with like a fairly big group and compete for a place. Even we quite didn't get there this year with all the injuries. But it was fun having a big group that actually like wanted to compete, and that I think as individuals we had great performances.
Can you talk about what it was like to complete the meet with running a 4x4, and maybe what it was like having the other athletes follow you around the track cheering you on?
I mean, that was probably personally for me the most brutal thing I've ever done. I'm not a 400-meter fan, but I mean, I just did it, and I never thought that I could like split the 52 or 53, whatever I split there. It was just fun having like every 20 meters, 5 or 6 athletes of us standing and just yelling at me. That just pushed me forward.
I'm here with Frank Werner, one of our short sprinters who competes on the 4x1 and 4x2 relays. Frank, we're here at Penn Relays this weekend. Can you talk about the atmosphere and what it's like to have the opportunity to run here with some of your teammates?
Well, Coach, this is my second time here at the Penn Relays, and every time it's a really great experience to run in front of a crowd of maybe 30,000 people. And yeah, I really appreciate being able to run at a 4x1 and 4x2 here today. It's a great experience.
Now tomorrow we're going to have some of the best teams from around the world to compete in the USA versus the World Relays. Last year the German national team was here. What was that like to be able to see some of your countrymen run and to be able to see some of the elite athletes in the world compete against each other?
Well, considering I was in the national team for maybe half a year, I saw some of my friends, and I was really glad to see their progression over the years. And yeah, we stayed at the hotel, and I was glad to see them again. Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you look forward to tomorrow? I know that you've got one of your teammates, Jovan Vukicevic, who's going to compete in the open high jump. That's kind of exciting. This year was a little bit different, that we had more athletes come than last year. Does that change being here at Penn? Is it more fun?
Yeah, it's definitely more fun because we represent the university with definitely more people now, and as you mentioned, Jovan will try to hit 2:30 tomorrow, so we're pretty excited and we're going to cheer him on tomorrow.
Cool. Well, thanks for being with us, Frank.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in the hotel back at the Penn Relays, and joining me tonight is head coach Jim Verenkamp. Coach, well, I screwed up this one.
No, just keep going.
How do you feel about the first day here, the first couple of relays that we ran today and the girls yesterday in the 4x1?
You know, for us, I think any time that we can come and be on a stage this large, I think that it's a great opportunity for the school and for the kids. So regardless of the outcome, I view it as a growth opportunity. And for example, today I thought everybody looked great in the 4x1 and the 4x2s. We set 2 school records in the men and the women's side. The men were within 0.2 of a second of the school record in the 4x1. Yesterday, Shelby jumped 365. Her personal best is 396, and we had deplorable conditions. So across the board, I would say that we've had a fantastic experience. We had the opportunity to go about town. We visited the Rocky Steps today. Frank and some of the other athletes had the opportunity to take a picture with one of the famous statues in Philadelphia, so that was a good experience.
Okay. What does this mean, like bringing a big team to the Penn relays, not only for the relays, but also like in individual events like Johan tomorrow and the high jump and Shelby and the pole vault. What does it mean in regards to recruiting? There are multiple high schools here that are gonna run here. It's just gonna also like impress high school kids to join Queens in the future.
You know, there are a couple things that definitely changed, I think, in the last year. And recruiting has changed in that this year when I talk to recruits and when I talk to recruits coaches, they're aware that we compete at the highest level, that we compete at Penn relays. They see kids like Shelby, they see kids like Johan, kids like you in the hurdles, and they equate that with success, and they equate that with us having a program where they can come and be successful. I had a conversation this year with a lady that's coaching some really successful high school kids, and she said to me, I did my research and saw that you guys were the best team in the region, and I want my kids to go somewhere where they can be coached and have the opportunity to have success. So I think being able to come to a place like this and put our name every single year in the program and be able to pull kids out of Pennsylvania and out of Virginia and out of New York, it just really shows that the exposure that we get is truly worth every penny that we put into taking you guys here and giving you the opportunity to have a great experience.
Right, and us athletes, I was talking to a couple of athletes today on the team, Alex Townsend and Shamar Ingram. I really appreciate this opportunity coming up here and getting to race at the highest level. I mean, running against like Texas A&M's relay. That's right now the fastest relay in the nation, and I mean, us athletes are just trying to take the most out of it.
You know, I think the one thing that we do when we come to the Penn relays is we try to give you guys some sort of motivation, a desire to make the relay team and come back here. It's not something that we necessarily give out, but the opportunity for you guys to be able to earn something. The opportunity to come up here and, like Frank mentioned earlier, the opportunity to meet people. We met a former world record holder yesterday when I was coaching long jump. I stood right next to Carl Lewis, and Carl Lewis was coaching some girls from the University of Houston. And that's probably one of the most successful American athletes that we've ever had. A guy that went and won 5 or 4 gold medals in one Olympics. Probably the most decorated sprinter in the history of the games. Being able to do those kinds of things is just what makes track so great, because it's so accessible to athletes, and we really want to continue to make that a part of what we do and a part of what our expectation is as a program from year to year.
All right. Thanks, Coach, for joining me on this special edition of the Weekly Update. Back to you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Weekly Update, to this special occasion from the Penn Relays. Joining me right now is Coach Now, our 400 meter distance coach. Coach, how was your experience at the Penn Relays, and did you come here as an athlete, or was it the first time for you as a coach?
It was definitely great to come with Queens. It's my third time actually coming, and I came back in 2004 and 2005 as an athlete. This was my first time as a coach, and it was great to see the whole group perform. The girls had a little kink, with the baton, but great performance by the guys and the women's in the 4x2 as well. So really enjoyed it.
How did you feel about the fact that we had no blocks today? We saw a picture of me sitting in the blocks without no blocks.
Well, the blocks, that's just part of the Penn Relays. They have so many teams, high school, colleges, professionals, they have to get things going, and so you just have to get it going without the blocks and pop off, so.
Exactly. It was well organized though. I mean, we went through it real quick, and they got heat after heat out there. Overall this year, looking back at conference, Zach Lewis in the 400 meter, and in general your female group in the 400 meter and the relays. How did that go this year?
Well, I think we had great progress, from the beginning of the year with so many freshmen on board. It takes time, but I think, when they have the opportunity to come at a big championship like that, it will, give them an experience that they can actually utilize, and move on, so it's a good thing for you guys to be able to actually perform at these types of meets, so
all right.
They did quite well.
All right. Thanks for joining me tonight, and have a good night's sleep.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Penn Relays, where you run without blocks.
Penn Relays, where you run without blocks.